What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. I hope you're having an amazing day. Today's video we are going to be taking a look at something different. So this is my Galaxy Tab S5e and I purchased this mid quarantine, and this has been just my best friend during the whole COVID pandemic. Like, I've been watching so much stuff that I pretty much just left YouTube, to be honest. I haven't been uploading a lot because I've been just enjoying watching YouTube, Amazon Prime Video, or even the Disney Plus integration in Hotstar. It's been just amazing. And then again, when I purchased it, did actually have an Android Pie One UI 1.1. Then it got the One UI 2.1 from the Galaxy S20 around like June, but I didn't think it was a significant upgrade from the normal One UI experience that you have. So over here you finally have the One UI 2.5 update for the Galaxy Tab S5e, and it adds quite a few necessary optimizations to the system. Again, it has all the features from pretty much you find in this thing, which would be the Galaxy Note 20 or the Note 20 Ultra. Like, it's been a trade using both of these, and just comment down below what you would purchase for 1.5 lakhs. Both of these actually cost 1.1 lakh and 40,000 rupees. So it's basically the same price as the Galaxy Z Fold 2. But again, that's a much more fragile phone. Then again, it's a whole another different world. Over here, you have a very powerful phone with a very powerful camera, display, and a S Pen. And over here, you have a Quad HD panel, ultra battery efficient, quad speakers. So yeah, complete media entertainment package. And then let's just take a look. So again, over here, as you can see, the home screen just pretty much looks the same. Now there might be few artifacts through the camera, like the lines over here. That's because the panel is so huge, the camera can't really focus everywhere. So sorry for that. Again, there could be a bit of a lags overall through the UI because I'm using OLED saver in order to stop anti-banding. But over here, as you can see, if you now just go to the Samsung Daily, it's now in multiple parts, just like before in One UI 1.1. For some of the people who upgraded from Android Pie to Android 10 without formatting the device, might actually have just one page like a normal Galaxy phone. Then again, if you just go to the RAM usage, it's been quite a lot when compared to the One UI 2.1. For example, right now it's at 2.6 gigs, which is quite a huge amount for a 4 GB RAM tablet, which is actually running at Quad HD plus resolution. But compared to something like this, as you can see, the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra is running at 5.5 gigs without anything in background, and that too at 1080p 120Hz. So yeah, the optimization is quite weird over here, but the phone doesn't slow down or anything, so that's really great. Again, the touch response has been just amazing on this tablet. Even though this is just a 60Hz panel, it doesn't seem that far off from the Note 20 Ultra in terms of touch responsiveness. And then again, apps and everything have been just pretty much the same. For example, now if you just go to the Messenger app, as you can see, opens quite quick for a Snapdragon 670 SoC. Then again, if you just go to the camera, there has been just pretty much nothing. There are no Pro Mode features or something. You do get a Pro Mode camera, but it's a tablet, so why? Again, it's quite laggy. As you can see, I switched to the more, but it took like 2 to 3 seconds to switch. That happens when you have the 4K video on. But now if you go here, you have Decopic for pretty much all the firmwares. So again, it's a very useless addition, to be honest. I mean, it doesn't have any kind of useful features other than these stamps. So you can have a device specific stamp like a Galaxy camera or a Galaxy Note 20 Ultra or something. Other than that, it doesn't serve any kind of special purpose, but quite a good camera for a tablet, to be honest, when compared to even the iPad Air 2018. But coming back, again, the rotation takes quite a second, but it doesn't switch the DPI as in the Android Pie. Then again, just going through more stuff, pretty much nothing. Again, these buttons might be different depending on the firmware. But now if you just go through the keyboard, it's quite improved, to be honest. So I don't know why it just crashed, but again, the toolbar does have same spaces, but the toggles are far more optimized. So for example, you have the JF stickers as before, and then now you have keyboard size, YouTube and Samsung Pass right over here. Keyboard size is a normal feature, but now it has a live toggle for it. You have Bitmoji and Moji Talk also, which again, why you would need that, but you have the YouTube integration, which is quite nice actually. So let's just switch it up right over here. So now if you want to just suggest someone a YouTube video or something, which is very helpful for me, I can just tap over here, search for anything like the trending videos, or I can just search it up S10 1 and just search it up, and if I just tap it, it will type in the video title and the link for it right over there with the channel. So that's really great optimization. But even if you don't have the YouTube toggle on, you can even do that with the search. So go back, search it. Now you can do a complete system-wide search or Google search. So something like GTA search. Again, it will search for the emojis and everything. You can even search for another plugins like YouTube right over here, or even Netflix, which is supported. So that's really good. So directly going down to the quick settings panel, as you can see, just like the One UI 2.1, you can open it up in 5 spaces, and then you have brand new music share from the Note 20 series. So again, it lets you share music with your nearby friends or something, or with the Bluetooth speakers without even pairing them. Well, I tried with couple of cars and you have to actually pair the speakers, but if you have a Bluetooth speaker without pairing, it should just work fine in theory, but for me it just doesn't. Again, you have the live caption right over here. So this is a Google Pixel feature where if you just go to something like a YouTube video, and it will auto generate captions for everything. As you can see, it's now working. So if you're just watching a news or something into a bus and you can't really hear it, this is a very handy tool. Again, it can be toggled even with the volume panel, just right there. Very handy feature, to be honest. Few toggles do seem to be updated, like the quick share, but otherwise everything is just the same. Even with the Samsung DeX, now you even have wireless DeX, which is again huge feature, to be honest. And I really thought this was specific to the Note 20 series and needed some kind of hardware to just transmit it, but again, pretty much all the devices which do actually have DeX and One UI 2.5 do have these features. So probably Galaxy S9 would have to once it receives it. It just works fine with pretty much all the TVs which have Samsung Screencast or Google Chromecast. Mine is a Sony Android TV with the Google Chromecast and it just works fine. Again, the mousepad and everything just adds up to the experience with minimal delays. So directly going down to the settings app, again normal settings right over here, but the huge addition over here would be the Edge panel. So again, into the Edge screens, now you have the Edge panel from the Galaxy Tab S7. And then again, it was such a hard thing, like even my Galaxy Tab 4, which is a 2014 tablet, does have a Edge panel at least for launching multi-window apps, and with this thing there was nothing. So each and every single time I wanted a multi-window app, I had to go to the home screen. Well, now I can just bring up the Edge panel, and it's sometimes a bit laggy. Again, as this is not a flagship tablet, you do not get a blur UI or something. It's kind of dull, to be honest, when compared to the Note 20. But you do have Edge panel, and Edge panels have been massively improved for the One UI 2.5. So now it supports up to 22 Edge panels. So that's really great. Again, the weather app has been updated. It's now completely white, and if it's in portrait, it will show very nice previews. Again, there are quite a lot of things over here. Unnecessary, to be honest, but normal weather looks very beautiful. But just launching up a multi-window app, again it takes a second, and there you go. Very nicely done. Again, if you want a third app, that can be also done right over here. So for example, let's just open my files right over here. Again, you can't do 4x4 like in the older Galaxy Tabs, but again 3x3 is a lot. Again, if you want a fourth app, you can just drag and open a pop-up window. Like, that's a lot of multitasking than you need. Like, why would you would need 4 apps or 5 apps at once, I don't know, but that can be surely done. Again, if you want to close any kind of app, you can just split it up or replace with another app, or pop it up again. Then you can minimize it, adjust the transparency of it, or just close it. So yeah, lot of multitasking features enhanced right over here. And sometimes it gets a bit glitchy if you just want to go to the home screen. There you go. If I just again enter the app, it would open in full screen for all of them. Again, if you just go to the Edge panels option, you have all the Edge panels right over here. And if you want to adjust the handle settings, you have everything like transparency, color, lock handle position. But basically it's a tablet and I use full screen gesture, so it just comes in way. So I just completely tucked in into the right upper corner, and it's quite good over there. And that's pretty much it for the system related features. Again, if you just go to Wi-Fi, I forgot to show you guys, if you have the SIM card on, and if one of your contacts does actually have a One UI 2.5 device with the Wi-Fi password, it will actually ask you if you want to just ask them for the password, and it will actually tell you the connection strength. So for example, if I just completely forget my Wi-Fi, there you go, it says fast. So yeah, quite a neat features, but pretty broken, to be honest. I have never actually got it working, even though on 3 One UI 2.5 devices, the S10, Note 20 and itself. So directly going down to the Samsung Notes app, as this has been focused, because this update was actually built with the Galaxy Note 20. So again, the Notes app does actually get a bit of a revamp in terms of UI. So again, you have folders for notes. Again, all the older notes can be converted or should be converted if you want to edit them into this latest update. Again, you have the folders right over here, recycle bins, shared notebooks, just as before. So if you just directly go to any kind of note, it does lack features. For example, there are no voice notes or something which can be found into the flagship phones, but you can actually view the pages right over here, edit it. Then again, you can make columns for it, your text style, text color, text background, your text size. Yeah, lot of features, to be honest. And then let's just switch to DeX mode. And that's basically it for the Galaxy Tab S5 1 year 2.5 update. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you found this helpful, please drop a like and subscribe down there for more Tab S5 content. Please let me know in the comment section if you're interested, and see you guys in the next one. Peace.